Hi, folks. You are watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels and networks, including Spotify. I'm Mike Morales here in Southern California, gloomy Southern Cal. That gentleman out there is
Matt Metris in dark. I can't tell if it's gloomy or not. Rochester, New York.
yeah. Well, Matt's about 3 hours ahead of me. So yeah, it's dark. It's nighttime where Matt is. And it's perfect time for this brand new on the market Sotol called Guerra Seca. And I like the name. Yeah, I think it refers back to the era of prohibition in Mexico, where I know Bacanora was outlawed, and I imagine Sotol was also during. In fact, Sotol, I know for a fact, Sotol and both Bacanora were smuggled into the United States during Prohibition. So what does it say on the back? The legend of Guerra Seca. Oh, there's a legend.
There's a legend, Mike.
Yeah, but we're not going to read that right now. We're just going to drink the stuff, taste it. They won't read you all the ins and outs. Are we getting bubbles?
Just a little bit.
This is a really high ABV for a Sotol. It's Daslurian SPP is the Sotol varietal, and I like that it's got like Sotol paper, fibrous paper on it. It's very tactile. It's 48 ABV, folks. Ooh, this is a no joke Sotol.
Yeah,
I can't wait because Matt's in the middle of his tax season.
Tax returns. On my Twitter bio, it says dad who does taxes and tequila, but not at the same time. But
I saw that. And
you can pay extra for that service.
Yeah, he did say that the refunds get bigger when he starts drinking tequilas.
You want a bigger refund? Go after 8 o'clock at night.
Send tequila to your tax account. So we've had several Sotols. Have you had Sotol with me? Have you and I done a Sotol?
I don't think we've done it together, but I have quite a few in my personal collection.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Lingering bubble. You know how I love a lingering bubble.
That's your new band, Lingering Bubbles.
Lingering Bubble. Yeah. Look at the legs and tears on that too.
You can see all my TikTok lights.
Yeah, I know. You still dancing on TikTok?
Oh yeah, all the tax
all of tax season, he's dancing.
Yep,
it's a dancing drink and tax account.
I'm up to 4 followers.
Hey, that's more than we have because we're not on TikTok.
I'll get you there.
Oh, whoa! Now I'm using my Stasso Jarrito that we normally use for mezcal, obviously for higher ABVs. Wow, this has got a nice Lyrian punch.
It really does.
Let's be clear here. This is not a mezcal. This is made of another plant. The smells, the aromas are similar though.
Not even technically an agave.
No.
Another succulent, the desert spoon,
also known in that area as Seca, which I really like. I like that name.
I like this aroma.
Wow, this is really beautiful. We got no information on it, so we had to go backtrack and find the website of the importer that sent this to us, and there's a full page of everything you need to know. And we'll get to that information, but
I got like a pepper spice right up front.
Very fibrous and plant-like. Obviously a little bit of the alcohol, but you know what? As high as the ABV is, it's not
super noticeable.
No, And in fact, it's even greener at the bottom of the glass if you.
Yeah, very much so.
And the alcohol is not bad at all. I mean, it's not. There are tequilas that are much stronger than this.
Yeah, absolutely. You would expect something this high ABV to be more of a punch in your face, but it's nice. It's not.
No, it's more of the plant punch. It's a Daslurian punch versus the alcohol punch.
No.
And no, I'm not getting any fusel oil either. None of that. It doesn't smell like jet fuel or anything. You know, as it opens up too, you're right. I'm getting a little bit more of the like a jalapeno or chili spice of some sort. It's just fleeting.
Yeah, it reminded me of like a Cholula hot sauce or something, or Tapatio hot sauce, you know.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, it doesn't require a whole lot, man. It's right there.
Yeah.
And it's very pleasant. It's not sweet on the nose, like a mezcal or even bright. I'm just getting a dense fibrousness that I've actually experienced with raicillas.
Mm-hmm. Raicillas are fun too. They're
Oh yeah,
just really cool. That's one of the things I like about Sotol is that the flavor profiles are not mezcal, right? They're not tequila. There's something completely different, and they're so my brother described it once as getting punched in the face by nature drinking
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that descriptor. No, well, and I've gone on record with when I do when we do other Sotols with my other TJs, particularly with Jason, or I think I've done a few with Alex too. Is that with Sotol, when it was first introduced to me, I was living in New Mexico. I lived in Albuquerque for like 15, 18 years. And it's one of those where if you can, it's what those areas you can smell rain landing before it gets to you.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona's the same way, the Southwest. You spent the summer out there. I don't know if you got caught in the monsoon at all, but you can smell rain. There are pockets of cells, and it's either very warm or hot, and you can smell it evaporating off the pavement. And it smells different off pavement than it does off a sidewalk. That's like wet cement versus wet pavement. And now that I've had enough of these from the three states, Coahuila, Durango, and Chihuahua, I'm more familiar with Chihuahua because there's majority of them are coming out of there, but Durango and the other state, Coahuila, they're very different. I think of all the plants when we talk about terroir, the Sotol plant, the desert spoon, really acquires that. And I have had some really good Texas Sotol, which is there's a controversy on what they should call it, but it smells like Texas prairie. It tastes and smells, the aroma smells like that. So I'd imagine that every area that it grows, it really, you could almost tell by the smell where this is growing. This is actually coming out of Chihuahua. So
you ready? I'm ready.
Yeah, me too. This is really opening up nicely.
Oh man, that's pretty. I got a lot of spice, black pepper, plants, a lot of savoriness to it. It's not sweet at all. It's very on the savory side. Warm, pretty decently long finish too.
I did get like a on the retro nasal, just initially on the intake, you could smell smoke, but but it dissipates. It just as it goes through over your tongue and the rest of your palate, it's gone, and the pepper takes over. Nice warm fuzzy finish. This is wow, man. I'm digging it. This is wow.
It doesn't necessarily drink like 48% either, so that could sneak up on you. You have a couple of these.
Yeah, this has got a, and even though it's got the fibrousness, and that translates right on the palate. What you get on the nose, you're getting on the palate, except for more like you said, black pepper. It's a bit of the spiciness. It really does remind me of a raicilla, but the mouthfeel is it's not as dense as I was expecting.
You're right.
A light mouthfeel.
Yeah.
which I'm okay with. I'm good with that.
Yeah, especially when you look at the way like the tears are clinging on the glass. I don't know how well you can see that, but
Yeah.
you would expect it to be a little more viscous.
Well, to have more body, because
Yeah.
because visually it's beautiful with the legs and
Mhm.
tears. You're going, oh, this is going to coat my palate. And you and I have had mezcals in the past where what actually coats your palate that reacts a lot like glycerin is the smoke.
Mhm.
You don't even detect the smoke until you've had like 2 or 3 passes, and then all of a sudden, oh, there's the smoke.
Mhm.
And that's what the smoke is supposed to do.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm getting a residual, a little bit of like woodiness too. I know it's not a barrel, but maybe it's just the fibers themselves have that sort of woody quality. If not like oak, like we experience, with tequilas, it's just sort of.
I say sometimes I say it's like a paper quality, like like agave paper. It's a fibrousness, and I get that a lot with with anything that's been fermented with with the fibers in it. And we should probably get to some of that background information. I'm going to briefly read the back, and everything you need to know about this is on the back. It even gives you. This is bottle 231, batch, I guess is GS 5000. I don't know. The year was 2021. So this is a 2021 vintage. It says ancestors of the Raramuri are said to have made the first Sotol under the Chihuahua Desert sun in clay pots in circa 200 AD. The dry war, Guerra Seca, against Sotol began in the 1910s when teetotaler Pancho Villa, that's right, emptied Sotol barrels and executed Maestro Sotolero distillers, because he actually didn't drink. U.S. speakeasies and Al Capone allied with Sotoleros until the defeat of the U.S. prohibition in 1933. So Sotoleros continued fighting La Guerra Seca against old and new enemies and won the legal right to produce in 2002. And fun fact, the family that acquired the first permit to export Sotol was the Perez family, which is currently the Jaques family that makes Por Siempre Sotol, Don Cuco Sotol. They were actually the folks that introduced me to Sotol. And that's, to me, that's a very high bar. Because they're currently Jacob Jaques, I think he's 5th generation, is distilling Chihuahuan Desert Sotol for that brand, for those brand owners in Marfa, Texas. So it's clay and steel combined in our alembic pots to give you a taste of ancestral history and the exciting future of Sotol. You've got the website up, don't you, Matt?
Yeah, there's not a ton of production information. There's a lot of storytelling, but there is some information about 10 days fermentation, depending on weather conditions, distillation in a 2-inch clay-lined stainless steel pot with a copper top. During the second distillation, the Sotol remains 2 weeks inside the still before being distilled.
Yeah, the maker, his name is Maestro Sotolero Edmundo Juarez, on his apple orchard in the foothills of the 2,000-person town of Bachiniva. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. Bachiniva, Chihuahua. Edmundo is a Renaissance man. This is interesting to me. He runs the family farm, distills inventive spirits, and is a professor of food and agricultural science at the Research Center in Food and Development. And that's the Centro de Investigación en Alimentación y Desarrollo. He doesn't always drink beer, but when he does, it's with Guerra Seca Sotol. Yeah, there's pictures of him. He seems fairly young. I mean, he's a professor and a teacher, so he's not your typical what you would consider Sotolero. Of course, most Sotoleros, Matt, the people that I've seen doing Sotol have been more younger. They're not the personalities that we see in mezcal, where they're up in the hills and they're advanced in age, and they have their own palenques, and you have to hike to get to these places. Sotoleros by and large are a little bit more younger and modernized, but it's still a handed down skill. Each generation apprentices under the previous generation, and Jacob really does a great job with what he's putting on it. And lately, I gotta tell you, Matt, you gotta agree with me here, man. Brand of Promise nominee. This is stellar. Do we have any price point on this thing? Because I know we have the importer.
Yeah, I found one online store, $91 on it.
Okay, I'm okay with it.
Yep, I'd pay it.
Yeah, $91. Now the $64,000 question is, will we put it in a cocktail? I don't know.
Yeah, now I mean, it would probably do great in a cocktail, but it could, it's so, first of all, the price point would make it very difficult to sell that cocktail. Right. But if price was no limit, and I've seen people order, $50 margaritas with, extra añejos that have no business being in a cocktail anyway. God. But if you were going to do it, I would lead toward something like with an orange and a chili pepper. That's what's popping into my head, like that sort of profile. I haven't fleshed it out yet, because I know you always ask this question, but the cost would prevent me from doing that. But
well, I'm glad that I asked you this question, because this is the kind of dilemma or factor that this is the type of element that needs to be factored into when you're going to make a cocktail and put it on your menu. Is it cost effective for the venue? And yeah, you're right. When you break it down, so since we mentioned that it was savory, because it's a dense, it's not bright. Matter of fact, I haven't really poured more than that one that in this initial pass. I think a food pairing would be more appropriate, because of the savoriness. I think it would be really great with a food, and probably wouldn't have to be Mexican food either. I'm thinking like a good Italian dinner, maybe.
That could be. Yeah, Mexican. The first thing that pops into my mind was like a mole.
Okay.
And I think that might pair well. Rosemary's in my head, something like a rosemary chicken if we're going just standard fare.
Okay. Yeah,
it's shouting things out,
Well, we're sipping off the cup. We're thinking off the cup, off the top of our heads. I would go as far as with poultry or even meat. I think it's just too dense for fish.
Yeah.
I think it would overpower the fish. Probably not. But like a turkey, like a beef, that kind of thing, or even like I say, an Italian dinner with sauces. I think it would work really, really well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, I got nothing else to say except I would buy it. Brand of Promise nominee. It's a great addition. I want to thank the importers, Matt, who made this happen. Not you, Matt, but
we're all the same. The Matt.
I believe. You know what? I lost his email, so let me get back to his email. I think his name is Matt. Before I give him a shout out, let me just make sure I get his name correct.
The Matts will take credit either way.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. There we go. His name is Matthew Adams. And Matthew Adams is working with, he works for Cultured Spirits, which is the importer. You can follow these folks on Instagram. And they also import another brand that I'm dying to get a hold of, because we have had them. We've had a few of their varietals or expressions of their mezcal that they import. And the mezcal that they import is Pluma Negra, which Rick and I had a couple of years back. And it's a spectacular mezcal, but it did not have the type of importers and distribution that it needed, I guess. But anyway, Guerra Seca. I love it. This is good stuff.
Well done, guys.
Yeah, congratulations. That's our take on Guerra Seca Sotol. If you've had it, tell us where you're getting it, where it's available. Where did you find that price point? What was that a particular? Was that off their own website, or was that like
uptownspirits.com? I googled it, and I go with the first couple results that come.
Okay. Okay. So if you guys have bought it and are doing something with it, let us know in the comments. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, give us a like, because that helps us with the algorithm. And
it makes me feel good.
Yeah, So anyway, I'm Mike Morales here in Southern California. That guy out there is
Matt Metris in Rochester, New York.
And you have been watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media. Follow us on all of our platforms like Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, and follow Matt on his Twitter because now, or TikTok for that matter. But whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.